guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so let's jump right into this look. I already did one eye off camera just to speed up the process a little bit, but I am starting off with brows, and for brows today I am using the same old wet and wild brow pencil. You can find this at your local Walgreens, Walmart, Ulta, Target, whatever. And then I am just brushing out the beginning with a spoolie. And then my favorite technique, going in with two different types, different shades of concealer. These are the E.L.F hydrating concealers, and this is in the shade Deep Olive. And then I'm going in with medium beige right on my brow bone. And then I'm just taking this Morphe buffer brush and packing the concealers into my lid. Now taking the Juvia's Place Kalahari setting powder, I'm using that only on my brow bone just to reduce the shine. And this has become my new favorite palette. This is the Be Perfect Clientele Makeup by Jaw palette. What a long name. I'm going in with Sultry on a tapered fluffy brush, and I am building up that transition color slightly in my crease but slightly above, just to start off the shape of our shadow. Going in with the Morphe 35B palette, I'm going to take this violety purple right in my crease on the exact same brush, and this one I'm being very intentional on placement, so you can just feel for the socket of your eye, and that is exactly where your crease is going to be. So you just want to build up this color up to your liking, and then I am dragging this out just for a more smokier effect. I'm going back in with that shade Sultry just to make sure that my edges are nice and blended and blown out. Another little tip, you want to be very light-handed when going back in with your transition shade. Notice how my hand is placed at the very lower base of the brush. This helps to create a little bit of wiggle room with the brush as opposed to it being so dense. Taking that same brow bone concealer color that we used, the medium beige, I am going to cut my crease on a flat concealer brush, and I am taking this all the way to the other side of my eye. I'm using a small pencil brush. I am just going to buff out only the outer edge of my cut crease. This is going to help when we use our deeper colors to give it a nice transition without there being any harsh stops. But I did need to put a base on my eye in order for this blue to pop a little bit more. And then taking this deep navy from the same palette, I am going to pack that right on top of that concealer. And I am building from the lower base up. I found that when doing this, it helps to really concentrate the color exactly where you want it, and then diffuse it on the crease area into the purples. With this deeper bluish purple, and I am using that as our crease transition shade from Sultry to the navy blue. I wanted to create some depth, but I didn't want to make it too dark. I still wanted this to be prominently blue for the eyeshadow. And then I'm trying this new product. This is E.L.F's Liquid Shadow, and this is in the color Ocean Eyes. When I tell you guys, I'm actually very impressed with the consistency of this. I thought it was going to cause separation once I went back in with the blue. Actually didn't. It gave it kind of a wet metallic look, which was exactly what I wanted it to do, but I wanted to make that pop just a little bit more, so I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution. I think this is the Revolve palette. As you guys see, the outside of it is just horrible. It's not coming back. And taking that metallic blue and just packing that over top just to give this a nice transition. And I'm using two different shades. This is the metallic green at the top and then that metallic yellow. And I'm using that as my inner corner highlight. I wanted to give this look a different, you know, little pop or whatever. But now I'm just going to take my Wet n Wild black liquid liner and draw a thin line across my lid. Just to buff out the edge of that liner to blend it in with our crease shade, I am using the black from the Morphe 35B palette on a dense packer brush and just using that right on the outer corner of our eye. Then going back in with that deep purple that's already in our crease just to redefine it and blend it into the black. And now time for skin, my favorite part. I have actually been loving foundation a lot lately, like the process of doing my foundation. But I just moisturized my face with the Honey Do Me Up by NYX, and then I am going in with my favorite foundation at the moment. This is the Maybelline Fit Me 338, and I am not mixing this, surprise, surprise. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of color correcting around my mouth. I find that when I just use my foundation and then automatically go in with my lighter concealers, around my mouth, like my chin and my upper lip area, that part always tends to show up a little bit grayish in pictures, which I absolutely do not like. So I found that when going in with this red undertone concealer, it really helps to cancel out that darkness. And now taking Deep Olive from the same collection, I am going to use that to highlight underneath of my eyes, my chin, my upper lip area, down the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead. I absolutely love highlighting, and this just helps to add a little bit of dimension to the face, as opposed to it just being one smooth blank canvas. Then taking medium beige right underneath of my eyes, this is just going to help give a nice gradient of highlight in the areas that I want to brighten. And then after going in with a brush, I like to go back in with my Real Techniques. This is the mini sponge, just so that I can really make sure everything is nice and buffed out and seamlessly blended before I go in with our setting powder. Slightly contour using Deep Cinnamon. So I'm taking this along the side of my cheekbones, on my chin, the top of my chin, and then right above my Cupid's bow. And this is just going to help to add some warmth and definition away from the areas that we wanted to brighten. Going to use an angled powder brush just to buff in that concealer. I like using an angled brush for this part just because it helps to form to my face a little bit better, I find out. And also when it comes to blending on the cheekbones, it helps to keep the concealer nice and concentrated in the area that I want it. To set all of this, I'm going in first with the Juvia's Place Gobi powder, and I am using that right on the lower portion of my face and also to sharpen up my contour a little bit. I like to use this around my smile lines because it really helps to set in without creating too much creasing throughout the day, really, if any at all. And then I am going in with Kalahari from the exact same Juvia's Place I Am Magic powder, and I am using that right underneath of where I used medium beige. And same thing, we're creating a gradient effect even with our setting powders. And small little tip, this sponge is slightly damp a little bit. I find that when using a damp sponge to apply setting powders, it really helps to soak it into the concealer rather than giving it room to stick in certain areas when it comes time to wiping it off. Going back in with that same angled buffer brush, I'm going to first dust away the powder that is underneath of my contour just because I don't want that to be too sharpened. And then I'm going to go in and bronze while the rest of that is setting. I am using the Morphe Trailblazer bronzer on this angled Ruby Kisses blush brush just to give my face a little bit more warmth. For blush, I am using an OG. This is MAC Raisin Blush. I absolutely love the way that this just gives me a nice flesh tone look to my skin without it being overly powerful. I really used to not be a fan of blushes, but I'm more so a fan of blushes that just look a lot more natural than like super pink artificial. Anyways, now I'm going in with this angled powder brush, and see how I am not dusting away the bake. I'm kind of pressing it into the skin. This really helps to make sure that you have a seamless, smooth base. And then going in with this next step, I am using MAC Studio Fix powder on that same damp sponge. This is in the shade NC43, just to go over all of that. And next I'm gonna waterline, wow. Next, I'm going to tight line my waterline using this electric metallic blue liner, and then I am setting that with the same exact matte blue that we used on our lid. And this is the step that's really going to make all of your foundation just look like skin. I like to refresh my skin with the Mario Badescu facial spray and then go back in with the butt of the sponge and pack that in. Instead of having the setting spray just sit on top of your skin, you're working it into the products. Okay, and now I am going to use the Morphe Bite Me lip liner. This is almost very similar to MAC Cork lip liner, so if you were looking for a duplicate or something that you may have as an alternative, there you go, boo. So I like to slightly overline my lips just a little bit. Don't ask me why I do this. I just like the appearance of a fuller lip. So after going in with that, I like to take the Rimmel London lip stain, and this is in Take a Chill Pill. I honestly have not seen this in drugstores because I got it from my local Walgreens sometime last year, but I have yet to see it again, and I definitely need a refill of this one. The consistency is so nice, you guys. It feels so soft and creamy, but I will say that Morphe's first base is really similar to this one, or even MAC Honey Love lipstick is very similar to the same look. And over top of that, I just used a clear gloss just to kind of morph all those colors in, but now I am highlighting with my all-time favorite MAC Hyper Real Glow, and this palette is in the shade Shinny Peach. And I like to use the most gold and then the more of the champagne color kind of mixed together just to highlight on the highest parts of my cheekbones. The side of my nostrils I found is a good little highlighting trick because it helps to just give you that overall glow when you turn from any angle. So down the bridge of my nose, really just in between my eyes and on the tip of my nose and on my chin. And then I'm just gonna pop my scarf off, and this is the completed look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this talk through tutorial. Let me know if you guys like videos like this or if you would prefer me actually sitting down talking to the camera. Whatever, I will do it for you guys. But I hope that you enjoyed. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and also do not forget to subscribe. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.